Next question. What were the findings of King Solomon? What did he find out? Now, before Solomon described his search and how he came to this depressing conclusion, he first outlined his general observations about life in Ecclesiastes 1, verse 4 to 9. Can we all read those verses together? Generations come, generations go, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises and the sun sets and hurries back to where it rises. The wind blows to the south, turns to the north. Round and round it goes, ever returning on its course. All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again. All things are wearisome, more than one can say. The eye never had enough of seeing, nor the ears is filled of hearing. What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. You notice this. From his under the sun, as long as you leave perspective, the wise man observed that life seems to be an endless circle. Are you with me on this? If you read those words, it seems like they're just going round and round in this treadmill of daily existence. Everything just keeps going round and round, round and round. Have you ever felt that way about life before? How come sometimes life seems to be just going round and round? We are repeating the same thing again and again. You read between verse 4 to 9, we have phrases like the sun rise and then the sun set. The wind blows to the south and returns back to the north. The streams go to the sea and then the sea go back to the stream. Round and round it goes. Even reading those verses will make you have a sense of monotony. Everything is just repeating itself. And here Solomon described very vividly for us the monotonous treadmill of human existence without God. See, life is just endlessly going round and round. No fixed destination, no perceivable end. There is no sense of ultimate purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, if an unbeliever were to be painfully honest, he or she can come to this same conclusion. Think about life. We wake up, brush our teeth, eat breakfast, go to work, come back, take a bath, eat dinner, watch TV, go to bed. Next morning, we wake up, brush teeth, eat breakfast, go to work. Come back, take a bath, eat dinner, watch TV, go to bed. And on it goes. Am I right? Ultimately, somebody has got to ask the question, so what is life all about? What is life? What is the purpose of life? Is life really worth living? Many times, I find that we don't ask ourselves these sort of critical questions because we're so caught up, just maintaining this race, we never even stop and examine. Socrates was right when he said that an unexamined life is not worth living. If you never examined your life before, it's not worth living. And it's good to ask this question. I was talking to a young man once, and I said to him, why do you study? The young man said, I want to get a good education. Why do you want to get a good education? So that I can get a good job. Why do you want a good job? So that I can make a good living. Why do you want to live? Not sure. We just go on this treadmill and we just go. Everything that society tells us we need to have, we just step on it and we go and go and go. That's why I always get intrigued, with this story about a tombstone. Did you ever hear that? A tombstone. And this guy died and he wanted to teach the next generation some wisdom. So he wrote on his epitaph on the tombstone, he says, pause, dear stranger, when you pass me, pause. Where you are, I once was. Where I am, you will be. So prepare for death and follow me. And there was this young man, he saw this tombstone, he was not very happy. So he just scribbled under the tombstone 2 lines in response. He says, to follow you, I am not content until I know which way you went. That's true, isn't it? We cannot just go round and round and round. At some point, we got to ask ourselves, what is this all about? Where is society taking us? Is this all there is to life? Am I just chasing after all these things? We need to ask ourselves critical questions. And that's what Solomon did. We can be so caught up, trying to make a living that we don't really know how to live. I remember Japan. I read an article once about the youth in Japan entitled Japan's Aimless Generation. And it was a vivid description. He talks about the youth in Japan, with nothing to live for. So what do? They pack their arcades and then the nightclubs and all that. They spot all those far-out fashion, that you can't believe, They got all sorts of colored hair and all sorts of weird clothing. Things that you don't want to see your kids wearing. They have no desire to be the economic robots that they found their parents becoming. So they just went all the other extreme. The sense of purposelessness as a result has given rise to a higher crime rate in Japan today, and also given rise to the highest rate of youth suicide in the world, in Japan. And if we live with this under the sun, this as long as I live perspective, life becomes futile, meaningless. We step onto this treadmill, and we go round and round, heading nowhere. Everything becomes repetitive, nothing new under the sun, so the wise man said. Every new invention is either an improvement or a perversion of something that is already around. See, and the wise man talks about it. See, the only thing that's original is God. That's why I like what John wrote, In the beginning was God. It's the only original thing. Now, can you understand now why Solomon came to this depressing conclusion? It's very critical that we get these basics in place, and then we will interpret the rest of the book. But, I want to praise God today. I don't want to leave you with this depressing thing, but let's lift us up, okay? Praise God that today, as New Testament believers, we need not come to the same conclusion like what Solomon did. Because as you move through the book of Ecclesiastes, we hear the heart cry of people who are living without Jesus Christ.